He is an Iowa Cowboy, Wade Sundell.
Hello, Iowa.
I want to know what you're going to do with this big check.
I don't know. We'll party tonight.
I'll never forget that phone call. I just lost everything that I ever worked for and won, and holy cow, like, it's all gone.
Here we go, Wade Sundell. He wants to win a world title. He's off to a good start.
I knew I had a shot at it, but it was kind of a longer shot too. And I'd been in that position before, and I just went and did what I was supposed to do.
Yeah, baby, and sticks the distance.
The way I rode broncs, don't hold nothing back. Turn loose, let it all hang out.
Hi, I'm Jeff Metters. Welcome to Bullseye. Who's your favorite saddle bronc rider? If you're old school, maybe Casey Tibbs. If you're a fan in the 90s and early 2000s, maybe Billy Ettbauer or Dan Mortensen. Lately, the Wright family has scored a lion's share of those gold buckles, but sandwiched in there is Wild Wade Sundell. He grew up in Iowa. He started out riding bulls, but he found his true calling with the bronc saddle. His story is compelling, heartbreaking at times, but one that is very much worth telling. You did bulls and broncs too. What was the pros and cons of getting on bulls?
Well, growing up, well, you know, we just rode calves, rode steers, and moved our way up. And man, all I wanted to be, I was going to be Chris Shivers, J.W. Hart. You know, I was going to be them guys. I was going to go to the PBR finals. That's all I wanted to do. And so I rode bulls. I mean, forever and ever. And finally, in 07, I think it was, and I was beat up, sore. My grandpa, he said, why don't you get that bronc saddle back out? I said, all right, I suppose, you know. So, and I did, and made circuit finals then in 07. And after that, I was like, man, it's a little bit easier on my body, and bronc riding was working pretty well. So I just stuck with the bronc riding and worked out that. I still miss bull riding still this day, you know. I wish I could still do it.
How would you describe your bronc riding style?
Unorthodox. Just the way I handle my rein, I guess, it's different than anybody else. It's kind of, I'm lifting at times, I'm pulling at times. It might be behind my back sometimes, you know, but always trying to get pressure to where you're sending them feet to the front, and as long as you're sending their feet to the front and you're getting holt, you're going to make another jump, guaranteed.
And you pretty much, you don't safety up very often, do you? I mean, you just kind of a wide open and just kind of let it rip.
If you safety up, there's probably a chance you're not going to win first. And every time we nod our head, I'm going for first, whether it can happen or not, you know. It depends on what you have, but if you nod your head for first, surely good's going to come about it.
Yeah. You kind of have the reputation as Wild Wade. Is that your riding style? Is that how you live life? Is that a combination of both? What is it?
I'd say it'd be a combination of both. Old friend of mine at one time told me, he said, if you're taking up too much time, you're taking up too much space. Go have fun, turn loose, and let it all hang out. And whether you're in the arena or out the arena, just as much out of the arena affects you in the arena. So
yeah,
tried to just live it to the fullest.
You kind of look at NFR. How tough was it to kind of put all the pieces together and make it to your first NFR?
It wasn't hard, but it was hard, you know. Like I had to go to 100 rodeos that first year to make that finals, you know. And after that, I always told myself, you know what? If you do better throughout the year, you won't have to go to 100 rodeos. You'll be in a lot better shape coming in December.
Anything prepare you for the bright lights of Las Vegas and just going in there and trying to compete?
Probably should have came in there a little bit slower, but I was a little fast out of the gate, you know. I was just a punk kid and turned me loose in a city like that, and man, I was on cloud nine, you know. There was nothing that could beat me.
Did you make curfew at all in that first NFR, or is it?
That depends on what you want to call curfew, I guess.
Coming up, the rodeo life is tough enough, but how about when your life and your dreams literally go up in smoke?
It blows your mind, like, crap, what are you gonna do? And I think maybe it probably kept me enough drive to stay out on the road and keep rodeoing that year.
Bullseye with Jeff Metters is presented by Cinch. Lead, don't follow.
How hard is it to get past some injuries that put you on the sidelines for a while?
You know, my whole career I've battled injuries from when I was bull riding. I mean, from breaking my arms, legs, you know, and just different things. So I always kind of was around, you know, and dealt with it. But then when the major one hit and there was going to be no more weight Sundell at one time.
Like San Juan?
San Juan.
What happened?
When the horse I knotted, that horse flipped over. Swells crushed me in the chest and the abdominal area and split my liver in half. Had internal bleeding there for a while. They had to cut me open and pack me up and get the liver to stop bleeding. I think they said I had like 8 pints of blood in my guts, and you got 10 in your whole body.
Wow.
When I woke up, I thought it was a day later, and it had been 14 days later, and I had no clue of it. And I was like, I mean, completely blew my mind.
Yeah.
Took a few days to pull it all together and be like, holy cow, like, this is for real.
Yeah.
And then I stayed there for another 18 days. I was there for 30 days, I guess, roughly. And I didn't know at one time, I didn't know if I was gonna get out of there.
What were you thinking NFR at any point in that time? I got to get back to NFR, or were you just saying, man, I just got to get back to Oklahoma?
You know, so I'm laying in there, and I couldn't talk because I had the trach in, you know, so I couldn't speak, and I had to just type text on my phone to get, you know, to whatever I wanted to say. And I was looking at the standings, because this was at San Juan, the end of August there. Well, now it's middle of September, and I was 13th in the world standings still. And I showed it to Shelby, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm going. And she's like, no, there's no physically way that you can go. But like, I honestly thought at that point in time, I was like, if I make this, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna get on, I'm gonna go. So like,
Yeah.
and I think it drove me enough, you know, like, granted, I mean, I didn't make it, you know, whatnot, but that gave me enough power, willpower, mental, just to knowing that I was still in that top 15, laying in a hospital thinking, by God, when I get out, boys, I'm coming for you.
Yeah. You lost your cabin, your house a few years ago, and I think if you haven't been through that, my parents lost their house when I was about 25. It literally is like a death in the family.
Yeah, I'll never forget that phone call. I remember sitting there, and Audie Reed was driving that truck, and I looked at him, I was like, dude, I just lost everything that I ever worked for and won, and holy cow, like, it's all gone. And it was, you know, yeah, you think about it, you hear about people, but you never think that it's gonna happen to you. And when it does, it's an old, talk about an old door hits you right in the old head, like, it blows your mind, like, crap, what are we gonna do? You know, it was, and I think maybe it probably kept me enough drive to stay out on the road and keep rodeoing that year. In 18, when it happened, by golly, we're gonna have to win everything I won back, we're gonna have to replace it, so we're gonna have to start winning. And that night, I was at Greeley, and I was 88 points in the long round. And I'll never forget, old Benny Butler come up, and he slapped me on the back of the shoulder and just said, well, son, he says, that'll buy you a new couch. And you know, it made me laugh, and I was like, golly, I hadn't laughed in a while since this, you know, it happened.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, it kind of give you a little off the shoulders, but like, still, it was everything that was possibly that I'd won was in that house. And yeah, you can't replace that.
When we come back, Wade Sundell has seen the lowest of lows, but his is a career that has also seen the other side. He's been to the top of the mountain.
I knew I had a shot at it, but it was kind of a longer shot too. And I'd been in that position before, and I just went and did what I was supposed to do. You ready?
You're on this one.
Mean bull. Remember, lift on your rope. Squeeze hard. Squeeze hard. Squeeze hard. Squeeze hard. Hand up. Ready? Then come back the other way. Right hard. There you go. There you go. Righty. 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 Yeah, Cowboy. All right, jump up, Cowboy. Jump up. Good job, Cowboy. It's a good ride.
Coming into the World Championship year, did you feel like things were really coming together? What was your mood when you hit Las Vegas?
Oh, yeah, it was good. Felt good. I was in the middle of the pack, you know. I wasn't really thinking about it. I was just, man, I just do my part, ride each one night for night, and let it all come into place. And you can't not know it's coming because you're there. Everybody's talking about it. You hear everything, you know. And I knew I had a shot at it, but it was kind of a longer shot too. And I'd been in that position before, and I just went and did what I was supposed to do. And I think I rode 9 out of the 10 that year, and you know, it finally ended up falling into place where I liked it.
You jockey all year, and it comes down to one ride, round 10. And you probably thought about that. How many times do you think in your mind as a kid, or you know, in the recent years, to get on one for round 10, make the whistle, and win the World Championship? And then you think about that, then the reality comes, and were you nervous, and how did it live up to how you'd had it in your mind? You know,
I still to this day, I think about going to the NFR and riding one in the 10th round, and I want to break the record, you know, and be the highest score ever at Las Vegas there at Thomas Mack and win a gold buckle. How much cooler would that be, you know? I still dream about that to this day. I don't think anybody else, you know, anybody in my position would do the same thing. I don't know if I was nervous or not. I just know I had a pretty awesome, good horse, Hellboy, that night. And I knew if I did my part, that was all I could do, and wherever it fell, it fell.
Yeah, it was spectacular. I got to be honest with you, I think you're one of the most popular world champions. I don't know of anybody that year that just wasn't, I mean, moved to tears or just super excited to see you win a world championship. I think that says a lot about you.
Oh, absolutely. I know there's, in that locker room that night afterwards when it was all done and we're having our little shindig down there, there was more people, contractors and people that you don't see on the camera that are behind the scenes standing down there giving me a hug, high-fiving, you know, like it was a pretty cool moment.
You win that world title, then you get to stand in the dark back there, and they bring you out on the stage after round 10. I've heard of like a smoking story, but is there any truth to that? Let me hear your side of that.
Yeah, so everybody knows I smoke cigarettes, and by golly, I got done, you know, and it was coming down to it, and I needed cigarettes, so I was standing there in the hallway, and I was having a cigarette in the alleyway there, and an old cop come down and run right up to him, and I mean, he was mad, and it's a $250 fine for smoking in this building like that, you know, and I said, oh, I apologize, whatnot, and he says, no, you're gonna get this $250 fine, and I happened to have cash in my pocket, so I just reached in my pocket and I had $500 and I handed it to him, and I said, here, just put me down for 2 and you can leave me alone. And he shook his head at me and he just walked away and let me go on about my business. I said,
did he take the money?
No, he didn't. He just shook his head. Yeah, he just shook his head, and he wasn't going to win with me that night.
When we come back, Wade Sundell is not finished. He's also taking an interest in the next generation of bronc rider.
And the second year we traveled together, he made the finals. And then he turned around and he wins a round at the finals. I don't want to take credit for any of it, you know, but like, God, it makes you feel good right here.
Bullseye with Jeff Metters is presented by Cinch. Lead, don't follow. And brought to you by Cavenders. This is how we live. And Hui, the Western action sports brand.
How'd you wind up in the horse business?
So, when I was a kid, younger, that's all we did, you know. I'd go to the sale barn and find killer horses, break them, get them going, take them back to sell them. And just decided that if I was gonna do this, I just as well have something that was worth the crap.
Yeah.
And bought a stallion, bought some mares, and just started raising them, and went to the barrel horse, rope horse side, and that way we actually got to ride some good ones and whatnot, and just kind of stuck with it, you know. And
so is your strength like starting colts and stuff, or what's the?
Oh, we raced some, and then like this is a it was a 2-year-old when I bought her. She's a man eater. She ran out of probably 45,000 as a maturity colt. Then girls actually got me on a little bit of whiskey that night, and I had this horse for sale, and I ended up buying it. And but it's turned out to be pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, she's done very well for herself.
Who are some of your favorite guys you've traveled with?
You know, my favorite crew that I ever had, it was my longest crew, I guess, was Jesse Cruz and Ty Atchison. When you get a crew like that and you're all making the finals and you're at that caliber and that level, and you know, when you pull into a rodeo and you're like, "How dang, boys, how do you think they hate we just pulled in, huh?" They're all riding for fourth today. You know, I've started traveling with a little younger crew, and that year in 21, we made the finals with Tegan. You know, when he first turned old enough, I told him, I said, "Hey, when you're ready to go rodeo," I said, "you call me and come to the house." And he did. And the second year we traveled together, he made the finals. And then he turned around and he wins a round at the finals. Like, you know, just that, feel like you accomplished something, you know, like, I don't take credit for any of it, you know, but like, God, it makes you feel good right here, you know, like golly, hey.
A little bit of leadership, mentorship.
You get in the right rig. And, you know, that was something my dad always preached to me about. You travel with winners, you're gonna be a winner. If you travel with somebody that's down all the time, you're gonna be down. And always tried to find, you know, you look for them people that they want to win. And by golly, it makes you want to win more and beat them just as much as they want to beat you. You know, you feel off of each other. You know, you're still pals at the end of it, but
sure,
you're driving off of each other. You know, it's that's from a traveling partner. That's what's amazing about it.
Time for my Cavender Q&A. So I'm just asking you some rapid fire questions. Best Western of all time?
McClintock.
McClintock. Oh, going the John Wayne route. Nice. If you were in a movie, would you want to be the hero or the villain?
Villain.
You want John Wayne to come get you?
See if John Wayne can come get me.
Who would you rather travel with, Rod Hay or Casey Tibbs?
Rod Hay.
Rod Hay. Kind of like he's just a different kind of cowboy, isn't he?
Oh, absolutely. That guy's been one of my idols for a long time. I always wished the first year in 10 when he was winning the world and he broke his leg that year, it took me to Nampa, Idaho to finally catch him.
Yeah.
And he was out since June. And yeah, I always wanted to ride against Rod. And golly, I wish that year we could have battled out. It would have been between me, Rod, and Cody Wright that year, you know. And golly, it'd have been so awesome.
That's pretty good trio right there. Rank us bronc of all time.
Killer B.
And just
I guess in my time, I rode Young Killer Bee's been the rankest one ever. Been on her twice. She started me down once, rode it once. And when I rode it, never felt a feeling like that in my life. The way it balked, the way it moved, the horse is rank.
if you had the rankest bronc in the world and you had to pick a bronc rider to get on it to save your life, what bronc rider would it be?
Chad Furley,
Chad Furley? Yeah.
because he could strap anything.
Mark-out rule, keep it or lose it?
Keep it.
Keep it. What do you like
Yeah.
about it? And you see some rodeos now that don't have it. But
I like it just because anybody can hang in the guts and then go on. I mean, but to spur one out the right way that bucks hard, you better be on your game.
best advice you ever got?
Best advice, I guess, probably always be the way I rode broncs. Don't hold nothing back. Turn loose. Let it all hang out. And you can take that bucking horse riding, bull riding, roping a calf, or just spinning life general. Don't hold anything back. Let it all hang out.
Wade Sundell is a rodeo cowboy that's seen the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, but yet he remains unchanged, undeterred. I'm not sure I've seen a more popular win than Wade Sundell's World Championship in 2018. He has respect of his peers and a style all his own. He's the kind of cowboy that makes rodeo so much fun. I'm Jeff Metters. Thanks for watching Bullseye.